Greetings, truth seekers, and welcome back to another scripture reading and commentary podcast. And today we're going to be reading chapter 2 out of the book of Habakkuk, which is a very short book. And if you missed episode 1 from last week, I highly recommend that you go listen to it because it's arguably the most important chapter in the book of Habakkuk, and it kind of sets the stage. And I think it would also speak to you if you're struggling with some of the feelings of wondering, where is God in all this suffering? Where is God in all of this violence that's in the world? Where is God in all, while the nation I live in, just the sin is just overflowing, and the wicked people surround the righteous people, and justice never goes forth, and those types of things. So it's important that you go back and read that. There's only 3 chapters in the book of Habakkuk, and today we're going to read chapter 2, and then we'll probably read chapter 3 tomorrow. Now, I keep talking about the book of Daniel, and I said I was going to push it out to this week, but we're going to have to push it out even further, probably just the beginning of the year, mostly because I'm not going to be able to get to it this week, and then we still have to finish our other series, which was Enoch, Esdras, Jasher, the Rapture, and the End of Days. I did part 1, and if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend you do. I did part 1 a couple weeks ago, and we need to do part 2, and maybe even a part 3. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to wrap up December with, is those discussions. And then we're going to come back at the very beginning of January and start the book of Daniel. So I think it's a good time to start it. Plus, there's some things I'm wanting to do to improve it, and I kind of have to wait for the Patreon contributions to come in. So those of you who are subscribed to that, I just want to thank you. You don't realize how big of a difference that actually makes. But I want to improve the artwork a little bit, and maybe even change out some of the scripture reading music for the book of Daniel. So that's what's going on with that situation. So without further ado, let's jump in. Crank out chapter 2 here. Basically, it's God gives Habakkuk a vision of what he's going to do, because Habakkuk's upset. He's in chapter 1, he's saying, God, why do you continue to allow these things to happen? God says, you don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to raise up a bunch of heathen, a bunch of barbarians to come in and basically execute my judgment on the land. And then Habakkuk says, well, that's not good either, because they're also evil. And then so God's about to tell Habakkuk what he's going to do even to those people too. So God's about to bring justice forth on all the wicked, all the violent, while preserving the righteous. So let's get into it. Chapter 2. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me, and he said, write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, and will not tarry. Behold, his souls which lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Ye also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, or enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay? Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. because of the blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwelleth therein. Woe to him that covereth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. Behold, is it not the Lord of hosts, that people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity? For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge and glory of Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunketh also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. For the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoil of beast which made them afraid because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwelleth therein. What profiteth the graven image, that the maker therefore hath graven it, the molten image, and a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein to make dumb idols? Woe unto him that saith to the wood, Awake, to the dumb stone, Arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. But Yahweh is in the holy temple. Let all the earth keep silent before him. All right. You know, I think a lot of these Old Testament visions and things are foreshadows. They're not only were they prophecies for the time, but they're foreshadows for the end of days. And I like how it even starts, and as someone who is a watchman, I really, really just connect with Habakkuk a lot. He says, I will stand on my watch and set me up on the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So Habakkuk's saying, what I'm going to stand on my watch. I'm going to continue in my position on this tower, metaphorically, and I'm going to wait and see what the Father has to say to me, and then think about what my answer is going to be when he reproves me. And then he says, and Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that whoever reads this will run. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, and it will not tarry. So what he's saying is, even though it seems like it's delayed, it seems like it's not coming, wait, because it is coming, and it's not actually tarrying. And I think that's interesting for us today. And then God goes on to give woes. Woe to those that covet evil. Woe to those who get their neighbor drunk so that they can see them naked, so they can abuse them. Woe to those who increaseth by acquiring things that don't belong to them. Woe to those who set up city by spilling blood. You see, God's keeping count of all this stuff. He's well aware of what's going on. And to us, it may seem like he's never going to answer. He's never going to do anything. He's delaying. He's tarrying. But God's saying, no, not in the way that you think. He's going to deal with this world. And there's hope for those who have faith in him and in his Son, Jesus Christ. And there's coming a day very soon, my friends, when all this is going to come to a climax. There's coming a day very soon when the sky is going to roll up like a scroll, and the earth is going to be shaken off of its foundations, and judgment's going to be poured down upon the nation, and those who do not have the seal of God will be tortured as they have tortured others. Those who have killed with the sword are going to be killed with the sword. You see, God's going to make everything right. Justice is going to go forth. Continue in your prayer. Remember to be like Habakkuk and stay upon your watchtower and wait for the Lord to answer. There is hope. I'm hoping that you're enjoying this book of Habakkuk. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. Speaks to me a lot for many reasons. And if it is, I just ask that you share it with those who you think it might bless. So share it with your friends and family. Hit the like button. And if you want to support the Mission of Truth, you can go to truthfed.com. All the information's there. That's also where you'll find all the previous podcast and scripture reading series that we've done, as well as featured videos that I post several times a week from other people from around the internet that I think will be useful to you. So make sure you visit the website, truthfed.com. And if you do want to support the Mission of Truth, it's right there at the very top. I believe it just says support. So thank you again. I hope that you have a great season, holiday season, Christmas season with your friends and family. And like I said, we're going to do the last chapter of Habakkuk probably tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest. And then we'll be back next week to finish our Enoch Esdras Rapture and the End of Days series. So peace and grace be with all of you. God bless.